Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I am Mountie Carlin. I have just come up from the very bottom of the Darkzone. What in the world am I talking about? That's right. I played the Underground. It's super fun, but I thought I would go into the Darkzone and see what was going on in the new DZ 231 Plus. And so this review is going to include the 231 Plus DZ. Now, let me start off with the Underground. The first thing I will tell you is the PS4 version. I have heard they are really trying to get out by next Tuesday. So next Tuesday is currently the target date that they're aiming for. So I want to just go ahead and let you know that so we can move right in. And first things first, the Underground, let me tell you, is the ranks seem to go to the minimum level of 40, so it goes up to 40. That's where the stuff is that you can buy when you're playing this for a while. The grind doesn't even feel that bad, but I must say there are some very few chests in the Underground, and playing through on normal and hard only to receive a 182 or 163 reward seems a bit of a deflation. However, from what I understand is the higher your rank is, the better the stuff is that you get. So so scavenging doesn't work under here, obviously, but the higher your rank is down there, the better gear that you get. So as you climb higher, you're going to see better and better gear drop. So instead of 182, you'll probably get like a 204 or stuff like that. So especially if you're doing a challenging mission mode, though, you're only getting a 204 gun, I would have to say it seems like the drops are a bit out of line for what you're doing. If you're doing a challenging mission, you should be getting some top tier stuff. Now, I understand why they did this. The missions are aligned with difficulty, and the actual mission is in the game, and it's not, with the incursion. The one thing that Massive needs to do is to start putting in some consistent terms. Now, a hard mission is not the same as an incursion hard mission. I mean, I can solo any hard normal mission in the game without feeling challenged in the least. I cannot solo an incursion on hard without trying a few times. I've definitely soloed Falcon Lost on normal, which is hard, and challenge missions are the same as hard incursions, basically. So let's just say what it is and what the definitions need to change in the game to be consistent across the board. But that's not really why we're here. Why we're here is to promote and review the Underground. So let's just go into the Underground and say I love it. It is awesome. The best part of it is when you level up and you get an Underground cache. Pro tip, don't open these until you are 228 plus, because that's when you get the 268 gear and the 229 weapons. I have seen people who are 219 still getting 229 weapons. I'm not sure about 268 gear, but running the Underground seems to be way more of a means to get to the caches than it does to get gear from the actual incursion, from the Underground, since the Underground is actually built to give you gear based on your rank in the Underground. So just open those caches to get your 268 gear and your 229 weapons. However, if you want new gear, this is the way to do it. And on your road to level 40, you can acquire, I believe, 13 total caches, which will allow you to get numerous 268 and 229 weapons. I've not seen anything below that, at least not for me. I haven't seen anything lower than that drop. I already have a few pieces of 268 blind gear and a G36 enhanced, which feels pretty awesome, even though I have heard that they already said that they accidentally put too much damage on it and they're going to be moving it up. And honestly, Massive, don't touch it. It feels great. It doesn't feel like it's overpowered. I don't think it needs to be fixed. Please listen to us. I guarantee anybody who owns a G36 will tell you it's perfectly fine. Don't fix it. It feels like an awesome gun, and it definitely feels like a great replacement for the AUG and the Vector. So the Underground is fun, and even though they have thousands of iterations, I found that I would recognize a lot of the places as areas I have already been in, although it doesn't make it any less awesome to go through at these areas. But I did find that a lot of times when you're going into the Underground, even though everything's different and every time is different, I see lots of the same pieces over and over again. They're very easy to tell because they're all the same. It's very cookie cutter. So while the dungeons are different, the missions are always different. You will start recognizing pieces, and I mean, I'm only rank 8. And so I'm already recognizing pieces. So it's, it is what it is. But hard mode is a bit more challenging than a regular hard mission, which is good because there's a little bit more of a fear of dying when you're going in there solo. And I did a couple solo, and it definitely feels a little bit challenging, especially with timed missions. The missions that aren't timed don't feel challenging at all. It's really that timer or protect the JTF officer or something like that. So overall, the Underground is awesome, and I can't wait to get back to playing it tonight. I had played for a bit today, and this will be a welcome break from the DZ. And I will give people an opportunity to take a break from PvP, so that's always good. Although I do have to say the DZ still feels like the fastest way to get the max gear, because you're working on a timetable where you're moving at a pace and not on a mission timetable. So missions, are a set time that you're going to be going through. So there's a set time that you're going to keep doing these missions, 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get this gear. And over time, in the Darkzone, you can just keep going and hitting, refueling station, construction yard, sports store. You can just keep going through there, collecting your loot and getting out. And in 30 minutes, you have 9 pieces of gear, where in 30 minutes, you're not going to have 9 pieces of gear going through missions. So that's the one big difference. So I still think the Darkzone is your main means of getting the loot the fastest, but the Underground is definitely going to help you get more of it, and definitely more of the newer stuff and the more max. I did get one 268 final gear or final measure drop in the DZ. So that was awesome. So let's see. I also did a ton of searching in the Underground, and I found very few supply caches. There's little tooltips and stuff that say, hey, look around and see and check out supplies and stuff. And I didn't find very many. Like I found, 1 or 2 electronics components and 1 tool, and I didn't find any chests. The only chests that I found were the ones that were always at the end of the level. So it seems like a waste to put in a hint that you should search for chests and loot when it's so rare that you are going to find them. And I did notice that there is something that says find some intel, and I'm not sure what the intel is for, but if you read through the intel, it's hilarious. So go ahead and just read through those. Some of them are very hilarious to read through. But if you did find a chest in the actual level that wasn't at the very end, let me know in the comments, because I don't think that there really are chests, at least not in phase 1. My chest I got at the end of the normal run. I had a 163 gun in it, which is very, why are they giving us 163 guns in the Darkzone anymore? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Now, let's talk about the DZ 231 Plus really quick. And wow, this is a huge change, and I don't mean a huge change in a bad way or a good way. It's just kind of like, it feels very much like a challenge to even get in and get out of the Darkzone right now. And if you noticed, if you were 228 or somewhere around there, you'll notice that you are in the 231 bracket. I have no idea why that is. A lot of my friends that logged in today that are way under 231, I have a friend who's 219. And he is being put in the 231 Darkzone bracket. So I have no idea why that is. It seems like a bug, but I don't know why. So you may find yourself in the 231 bracket overall. But anyways, everything in this area is a murdering death machine. No more running up and grabbing supply drops, and even then, they still only drop mostly 240 gear. I only saw 240 gear dropping, so we're back to where it was a couple iterations ago, where they're dropping 240 gear. You're not going to get 268 gear from what I've seen, but you may get that gear. I just don't know. They still only drop. So I got a 268 final measure holster, like I said, from a boss in the DZ4, which I promptly gave away as it would have decreased my armor too much. So one of the lucky citizens who was with me that I was playing with today got a nice 268 final measure drop, which it was a nice drop. I could have used it, but I really didn't want to change out the one that I had. It was actually quite a good drop. I probably, in hindsight, should have kept it. It was a 268 final measure. It had some really great stats on it, and I just didn't do it. So congrats to whoever took it. I mean, it was tempting, but it would have brought my armor level down too much. So I saw one rogue the entire time I was in there, and he immediately tried to run away and was put down as he tried to run past level 34, killing death machines. And I mean, you really gotta watch your back in there. There's no rogues running to DZ 5 or 6. You are gonna get stomped jump to death really quickly, because everything in there is a one kill, one shot death machine, especially if you don't have a minimum of 450,000 toughness. You are basically just one shot to any rogue or any sniper in there. It's ridiculous if you're not in DZ2. If you're in DZ2, you might be able to survive a sniper shot with less than 450 toughness, but pretty much not. So weapon kits, I did re-roll one weapon, and the weapon re-roll is pretty awesome. The DivTech 3-to-1 transfer rate, they couldn't have put something better in the game this time around. I do enjoy the fact that it's 3-to-1. I've been crafting all day like crazy. I've been crafting mods, all the stuff that I haven't had the stuff to do, electronics, tools, all that stuff. I've been crafting like crazy because I've been maxed out on DivTech, and I'm at like $9.99, so I've been crafting like crazy, and it's still super awesome to craft and be disappointed 20 times for that one great item that you've been trying to get. So now, I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but I also felt like my pre-patch assault rifle still ate through enemy armor like it had the bonus on it. I did want to try out the G36, which was awesome, but I still might switch back if they nerf the base damage, and that comes to fruition. The SVD that I got was 229. It looked good, but it just didn't have the DPS that compared to my 204 M1A. And the M1A, let me just say, they may have nerfed it, but there's no difference. I can't really tell a difference. I mean, I have pretty poor aim, but not with a marksman rifle. I can do pretty well with that, and I'm still hitting very quick shots with that, so it doesn't feel like they really did too much nerfing to it. It still feels familiar, so the changes they did were pretty minor. All in all, I gotta give a huge thumbs up to Massive for putting out such a great patch despite the numerous bugs it had this morning with Delta errors and people not being able to get on. The issue with the Delta was the fact that people were trying to get into the game, and the Underground is actually on a different server, so it made it so people who were logging into the Underground couldn't leave. You couldn't leave the Underground once you made it in, because the problem wasn't with the Underground, it was with the regular game servers. So that's pretty much it. It's all been fixed now, so it's smooth waters, at least for logging in. Now, they did issue a hot fix this morning for this issue, so not too bad. They did a quick fix, and that got resolved. If people got in, I heard less complaining, and that was it. There still are a lot of bugs, so keep pushing those and putting them up on the Ubisoft forum, because we want to make sure that those get fixed sometime next week when the next patch comes out. And for PS4 players, and or not PS4 players, but PS4 players, the 1.3 patch for PS4 players, Underground, still August 2nd. Now, if I had to give it a number, the update itself would be a 7 out of 10, and that's only because I've barely just scratched the surface. I have learned that most of these updates start slowly and build up and get better over time the more you play it, and I just haven't had a chance yet to do the new incursion, which I will do later tonight. Until then, that has been my time. I am Mountie Carl, and I would encourage any fans of the Division to go out and pick up this new update, and I can tell you that 100%, I am not in a program that is sponsored by Ubisoft that requires me to feel obligated to say that or say nice things. I'm saying that as a fan of the Division, and people ask me why I still play this game, even though I've ranted and raved about it, and I've bitched and moaned about it, but I still love this game. It's a great game. It's definitely something that I've sank a lot of time into, and it's a wonderful game. I play it with my friends. I play it with my subscribers. It's really great to go out. It's definitely a communal game, so I encourage you to go pick up the Division Underground if you can. If not, wait till August 2nd, then go pick it up. So thank you very much for watching this, and we will see you soon in the Underground. Agent out.